And another video from Dave. What's up, YouTube? This is Dave 7F7. This is another video to do with Scott Weiland passes away at age 48. And another video from Dave. And yeah, pretty much before I get into the whole thing about Scott Weiland, Weiland, I always called him Weiland, passing away at age 48. Got a new camera, guys. A lot of you I've had in the past, you know, have cried about my quality. I never seen an issue with it from other YouTubers here in this community. I mean, it's a lot of YouTubers are at the same quality. There are some dudes that have some great quality, you know, but I've always felt, you know, I was never on the, you know, I would never say I was the one with the worst quality, but I got picked at for my quality, so I fixed that. There's a camera. Later on, down the road, I will get a microphone. I'll do all that, but this comes with a decent mic on it, so things have improved with this video quality and, you know, sound. So I hope you guys enjoy. I picked up a camera with my YouTube money. I finally got paid here on YouTube. I put that towards the camera. I picked it up for 49 bucks, and it was a $79 camera. Got it still for the Black Friday sale. They didn't change the tag at Best Buy, and they had one left. They had 3 on the shelf. They sold the 2. I got lucky, grabbed the 1, and got lucky by them not changing the tag. Use the YouTube money for the camera. Anything I make from here from YouTube will be put into the channel, whether it's buying a video game, buying, you know, maybe a capture card eventually, a microphone, all that shit will be put into the camera. I mean, into the channel. Into the camera, you know, because I'm going to do videos, and I put my thoughts and everything, and expressions and all that shit, and, you know, content goes into the camera, technically. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Sucks that I have to do, you know, using the new camera on my first video about this subject. This isn't going to be a funny video or anything, because it's actually something kind of sad, you know. Scott Weiland, if you guys don't know him, he's from a band called Stone Temple Pilots, which I would hope a lot of you, you know, would know Stone Temple Pilots. And I was really shocked, the dude that I do the Silence is Golden podcast with, Daniel Rodriguez, I was listening to his video, and he really wasn't familiar with a lot of Stone Temple Pilots, you know, Scott Weiland's music that he did, because he's been in Velvet Revolver, he's been in a list of bands, you know. But the 2 he was known for was Stone Temple Pilots and Velvet Revolver. Stone Temple Pilots was basically the soundtrack of the 90s. Like, those songs that band did was played in movies and fucking the radio. It was on the radio where I lived non-stop. They played those songs to death. Even past the 90s, you always heard Plush. You always heard you know, Dead and Bloated. You always heard Creep. I mean, those songs were played over and over and over. Those were the songs that actually inspired me to get into music. You know, Lane's Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots. That's the stuff that inspired me to start playing the guitar. I could never sing, you know, but I could play the guitar pretty decent. Rhythm, you know. And that's what got me into music. I loved going to concerts. Here's some of my ticket stubs, so I'm not bullshitting you guys when I tell you this story. Here's some of I found some of them over the move. When I moved up here from Florida to Tennessee, I lost a lot of shit. I always lose a lot of shit when I move. I was explaining that story actually to somebody the other night. Here's just some of my ticket stubs that I actually was lucky to find, you know. This is where, well, here's one. Where is it? Let's see where the Stone Temple Pilots one is. So I'm not pulling your leg. I wish I had the full ticket, but I don't know where the ends went. But there it is. Stone Temple Pilots, 2002, 13 years ago. It's when life was good for Dave. I was having a blast that day. Tuesday, October 8th, at the Hard Rock Live. It was at Orlando. I had a fucking blast that night. It was actually me, my buddy, Cannon, you know, one of my best friends I grew up with, and my mom actually went with us. We took my mom to buy us alcohol, because we were not of age to get alcohol. I always had cool parents, you know. I was never like that kid that had issues with, oh, I can't have my mom around, it's embarrassing. There was points in my life was like that. But when I got, around the 18, 17, somewhere around there, 20, it didn't bother me to have my mom around, you know what I'm saying, or my dad. I was always cool with them. I could tell you stories. You guys may think they were bad parents, but they were really good parents. You would, just by the stories, I would say, but they were really good parents. But mom was like the cool mom that you could take, with you, and would buy you alcohol as a teenager. And we wanted drinks that night. We wanted to get fucked up. And we sure did. We had a blast. And, Scott Weiland got on stage. Stone Temple Pilots was the only one there that night. So they played for about, I would say, 3 hours, just fucking jamming out. And I love to go see shows there at Hard Rock. It was a perfect venue because you could see everything, and you could get right up to the front if you wanted to. And it's an enclosed place. Like, I used to go there a lot in the House of Blues in Orlando. And I would always choose the Hard Rock. I love shows at the Hard Rock. House of Blues was cool because they had like a balcony, which Hard Rock had too, but they basically had everybody on the floor. There was only sometimes they would have you go up on the balcony, but usually people on the balcony had like special seats or something. But who would not want to go to the front stage? I mean, I was at a Alice in Chains show one time, and Jerry Cantrell hit me right in the throat with a pick. Now, I don't have that pick no more. I wish I did. It's gone. Those are things that I lost over time. I met fucking Blink-182, had them sign my ticket. No lie. I mean, I've met Stone Sour, Corey Taylor, got to actually drink with him. I've met, I'm not bullshitting. I've seen a lot of people. I've even been to country concerts. Toby Keith, that was an ex-girlfriend. She lives to like country. I'd go to anything pretty much. I've seen Cypress Hill. I've seen DMX. I've seen Bone Thugs and Harmony. The list goes on. I'm not bullshitting you guys. Partied with Seven Dust. I mean, there's one of them. I've been to Seven Dust. I could say at least 10 times I've seen Seven Dust. But going back to Stone Temple Pilots, so we went that night, got fucking blasted. We did some drugs too. And just had a good time. He came out, you could tell he was fucking, he disappeared for a little bit on stage, comes out with his fucking, the microphone where he does, I am, sings that song, I wanna get next to you. It was just badass show, period. But one of the best shows I've ever seen, other than, I would say, the Alice in Chains show. And I've seen Stained a lot. They can put on a hell of a show, too. Seen a lot of great, Rob Zombie's good, but these guys, Stone Temple Pilots, they had, this guy had a voice, and he could do, the Doors, he could do anybody, pretty much, really. He was good at, I think even Axl Rose got pissed when he started singing, Guns N' Roses songs, which there is only one Axl, there's one Axl Rose, nobody could sound like Axl, but he actually did, some of their covers pretty decent. And it was bothering Axl. But then, eventually, the DeLeo brothers, I think their name, the guys that they were with, the Stone Temple Pilots, they could never get along. Scott Weiland was a hard guy to get along with. And they ended up breaking up, and then that's when they formed, Scott Weiland went with Slash and Duff, and they formed Velvet Revolver. And they had a few hits. They had Fall to Pieces, and they had that one, what was that other one that they made? Fall to Pieces, and I forgot what the other one was. I'd have to look it up, but Fall to Pieces was basically the one I liked, and I think they had, can't remember the other one exactly. It was like 2 or 3 hits. I mean, some people may like other songs. Slither, that was the one, and You Got No Right. It was like basically 3 hits, in my opinion. You might have a diehard Velvet Revolver fan tell you more, but they were a really good band to see, on stage, because they did other covers and shit. Like I said, he did Guns N' Roses songs, and I thought he did them fairly well, how he made them his. But there was nothing like seeing them with Stone Temple Pilots, to be honest. But like I said, it was cool seeing Slash, because I've always wanted to see Slash. I never got to see Guns N' Roses because they were broke up by the time I started going to shows. So, and I heard actually they're back together. They're never going to be like they used to be. And if you see, like I showed on my live stream last night, what Axl Rose looks like nowadays, oh my God, he looks like Bear Hugger, guys. No lie. He's fat as hell, but no shots at Bear Hugger. I'm just saying, it's a trip. You'd have to see it. I showed it on my live stream last night. Shout out to Bear Hugger 29, good dude. He rolls with the punches, gets ran over by the bus, and keeps on coming, and takes it like a man. You know, he's cool about everything. He does get a little you can tell he gets a little crabby when we take shots at him, but he's a good dude. He's a good sport. But yeah, Stone Temple Pilots, man, I can't believe he's dead. You know, he battled, the reason he is dead, well, let me read the article. There ain't much, nothing set in stone right now how he exactly died. They don't have that yet. I'm sure somebody knows it, you know, like the coroner or somebody, but basically, former Stone Temple Pilots singer Scott Weiland has reportedly passed away. Former Stone Temple Pilots and Velvet Revolver singer Scott Weiland has reportedly passed away, according to a tweet shared by Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist Dave Navarro. Navarro tweeted, "Just learned our friend Scott Weiland has died. So gutted, I am thinking of his family tonight." TMZ reports that Weiland was found dead on his tour bus in Minnesota earlier tonight. Weiland was reportedly on tour with his band, Scott Weiland and the Wildabouts or something. The cause of death remains unknown. He basically, you know, they found him in the tour bus, you know, sleeping. You know, died in his sleep. Probably had a heart attack. You know, I've had friends in the past die of something very similar, probably the same exact way, to be honest with you. And that's, you know, it's horrible, you know. The guy had so much talent, and you know, he just could never get it together. You know, it's, you know, he done some fantastic things, but he could have been so much more. You know, he could have been, you know, could have just kept going and done a lot more. But he's done more than, you know, I've ever do in my life. You know what he's done, you know, up to his death. You know, he's fantastic. The guy's amazing voice. Amazing artist. You know, you can't get much better than that guy. It's like, you know, Jim Morrison. You know, all these guys pass away, and girls, Janis Joplin. You know, and drugs will get to you. I've had battled most of my life, at least since I was about 14. You know, 14, 15. I've been on and off. I've had problems with pills, and it's just, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. You know. I'm good right now, but, you know, I can go through a spurt where it could all turn around. You know, it's always like, you never know. You know, you never know when that's going to happen again. You got to just try to stay away from it. And he, unfortunately, I don't know if he's died exactly like, what was it? Nobody knows if it was exactly drugs, but most likely, going by his past, you know, he could have had a freak accident, died in his sleep, but the guy, he was a fucking heroin addict. I mean, hardcore. I mean, it's sad, you know. I don't like to see this, because this is a part of my past that I, you know, really will always remember. You know, being at Stone Temple Pilots, listening to their music, you know, and throughout my life I listened to their music even to this day. I always liked Stone Temple Pilots. They were a great and fantastic band. Like I said, I was more into Stone Temple Pilots. I liked Velvet Revolver, but just because Scott Weiland, and, you know, I liked the band that they formed, but it didn't, to me, they were better on their own. Like, Slash was better with, you know, Axl and Duff, and he was better with the DeLeo brothers, if I'm saying their name correctly. That was just the groups. I liked them separate. I did like them together. A few songs, like I said, were good, but basically they were better, you know, on their own. This guy, like I said, could sing anything. He could do Doors songs. The list goes on. The guy is really talented. He did Guns N' Roses songs. But yeah, sucks to see that he's dead. I know I went on a long time in this video, but I'll never forget that when I went to Stone Temple Pilots. It was one of my, I've been to a lot of shows, been to well over 300 shows, but that was one of my all-time favorite nights. I remember I think it was like 17 or so, and it was just 17 or 18, maybe I was older, I don't know. I just wasn't old enough to drink. I know I wasn't old enough to get alcohol, but Just had a blast that night, and I'll always remember that. And I appreciate it, Scott. You know, your family, if you ever see this video, like, you know, his family ever sees this video, your son was a great artist. I mean, most likely they won't, but it sucks, you know. Another one, and, you know, if you guys are familiar with Static X, I was big on Static X. He passed away, I think, this past year or the year before. I think it was this past year. You know, a lot of people, it's this whole addiction with heroin and pills, it's really bad. You know, a lot of people, you know, are dying for this shit, and they need to do something about it, I think, in my opinion. I think they need to figure out something. I've heard they've had some kind of treatment that you can get overseas that they don't allow in America. And it's this plant that they give you, and it makes you go into like a comatose state, like you're literally in, you know, what's the word? You're in like a coma, not a coma, like you're just, you know, you're in like a trance or something for like 3 days, like pretty much you're in a coma or something, and it clears your opiate receptors and everything, like you know, the day you were born, you know, like it's that good, you know, and they won't allow it. It's like $8,000. Like, I know somebody's actually going for the treatment right now, and it costs them about $8,000 passports. They have to go to another country, and the America won't let you go and do it here because they want to make money off all this other fucking shit they're making money off of. It's kind of fucked up. You know, like somebody like him, though, he had the money to go over there, you know. I really, you know, the thing is, some people say, oh, that guy, you know, had all that money, he should have been doing something different. You know, he shouldn't have been doing that, he should have been happy, but you never know. You know, when you get messing with this shit, you mess with it for fun, and then you start using it for depression. It's just how it goes. Like, I've used it for that, you know, and it's a never-ending battle. And, you know, right now I'm doing good, but like I said, you know, that could all change in the blink of an eye. You know, it is what it is, but yes, Scott Weiland, great dude, one of my greatest memories of, you know, in my past, of seeing his concert and listening to his music. You know, the great band. You know, I love Stone Temple Pilots. Revolver was good. Like I said, Stone Temple Pilots. It's one of the big bands. You know, and that's why I'm doing this video. And it kind of sucks. I can't. My buddy hit me up tonight, actually, after I did a podcast with Poppy 2K, Thanos, and all them. Shout out to you guys. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, damn, he died, you know. But I had a feeling it was going to happen eventually. But that's my video, guys. Tell me what you think. Do you know who Stone Temple Pilots is? Did you ever hear of him? I find that crazy. I feel like I'm getting old. When I hear shit like that, I couldn't believe it. Like, listening to Daniel's video, I'm like, damn, he's not really familiar with Stone Temple Pilots. You know, he said he was going to go see them, but he wasn't really familiar with them. Like, how could somebody not be familiar with, you know? But to be honest, I guess getting old, you know, I don't know. I still think of myself, you know, I don't want to be old. I'm not looking forward to that, being older, you know, like in your 40s. It sucks getting old. It does. It's like, you know, I don't like being 31. It's horrible. You know, it feels like half your life, it literally is half my life's over. But that's my video, guys. I rambled long enough. Shout out to, you know, anybody that, you know, got upset with this news also, like me. Later, guys.